said, you've got to come by and see American Shooters. Well, we did, and it was 2 minutes from the Strip, and you are going to be surprised. Here comes a tour by Mark Christensen, and you're going to meet the owner. Hello, shooters. Here we are in Las Vegas at the American Shooters, and we are 5 minutes from the Strip, and you are going to be shocked when you see what's inside this door. So let's go have a look. Hi, how are you?
Excellent. How are you?
James Soul.
Hi, James.
I'm here to see Mark Christensen.
Wonderful.
We're going to take a little tour.
Fantastic.
All right.
Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very
Mark
much.
is actually here?
Yes, he is. He's right there. He's right there. Mark's right here. Hey,
Hello,
Mark,
James.
how are you? Good to see you, man.
Good having you here, my friend. Glad you could make it.
Yeah, well, you know, this is beautiful. We're how many minutes off the Strip?
About two.
2 minutes.
Mile and a half.
A
mile and a half.
Mile and a half. Okay, I was wrong out in front. I said 5 minutes. We're 2 minutes. 1 mile and a half off the Strip from the Fashion Center, right? Yeah, from the Fashion Center. Okay. Now, Mark, you're going to show us around a little bit because this is
Absolutely.
a beautiful store. You've got a huge amount of people here. And I think someone said something like 10,000 square feet.
Downstairs in just the retail area, about 10,500 square feet. And then we have, separate from that, is the range facility. And that's about 5,000 square feet
Also. Okay, well, good. Well, show us around the retail part
Excellent.
of this. Tell us what you've got. Where would you like to start?
Let's start over here with
Okay.
the
All right.
in the gun section, which everybody likes
Yeah,
to
well,
see.
that's what we wanted to start with. We like the gun section. What do we got?
Along this wall, we've got all of the more exotic, or what we classify black guns.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What do we have right here? Let's see. Can we get a picture of that at all? Yeah, I'm sure we can. So tell us about what you've got there.
What we have here is the M4 baseline weapon systems, 223, 556. More of them here. They're broken out by manufacturers. We have a Colt 45 version of the M4.
Yeah.
Additionally, we step over here. We've got other manufacturers that come in.
Beautiful.
You know, it's
Beautiful. They got sales signs on them here. $150 off, $100 off. I mean, this is the place to be. And obviously, looking around, that's why everyone's here. Prices are really good. And here,
this is the M&P section for M4s. Variety of calibers, all the way up to 50 bale.
okay, let me ask you, since we're on this part of it, if I'm a Nevada resident,
Yes, sir.
can I walk out the door with a gun, or is there a period?
For rifles, there is a period unless you have a CCW.
Okay.
At that point in time, that they run your background on you naturally,
Right.
under the Brady Law.
Right.
And then if you have a CCW here in the state, the weapon system goes with you.
Right out the door.
Right out the door.
Okay, now if I'm from out of state, can I buy anything here?
If you're from out of state,
I can buy anything retail as far as clothing and all, but as far as weapons go, I'm not. That's not going to be possible, correct?
no.
No. Okay.
And the reason behind that is a lot of folks come in from California, and there are California compliant weapon systems that have to be
Right.
adhered to, such as in the state of Nevada, we don't have a magazine capacity. State of California, you have a magazine capacity limit.
I think that magazine capacity is no magazine.
We won't go there.
Okay. But if I'm from Tennessee, can I have a weapon transferred to a dealer in Tennessee? Is that
Correct.
Is that even reasonable?
Correct. They utilize their FFL to transfer to an FFL in
Right.
Tennessee or whatever state you're from. But again, the key thing here is it has to be in accordance with the state laws. In California, I'll use as a prime example on that. It has to be California compliant. And would be that way anywhere else in the country.
Okay, now you all know Mark Christensen because he's been on the show a bunch of times. We ran a series on Mark. We're continuing to run a series on Mark where he and Freddie are out there and they're showing us, the novices, and I'll say me, how to handle a pistol on a range. and that series is going to continue. But before we get back to the series, let's continue with this store because it's huge and there's a lot of folks here. So, all right. Hi, folks. We moved across the aisle now, and we're over on the pistol section. So, Mark, tell me what we got. This is a huge selection of pistols.
Basically, what you have, this entire wall is all pistol manufacturers. As you can tell, we've got Smith & Wesson, we've got STI, Beretta, Sig Sauer, Glock, Kimber, and the list goes on and on. It's probably the largest singly placed handgun collection for sale in the state of Nevada.
Hey, that's saying a lot. Okay, that's the largest handgun for sale.
Correct.
Now, this is just for sale. This isn't a collector's thing.
No,
these are for sale.
All these weapon systems here, the handguns that you see, are for sale.
Yeah, well, in each one of these cases, and I'm not going to do a quick count, but you got to have 5, 10, 15, 20. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 cases down there. A huge amount of guns. So when someone comes in, actually they can they unlock that and they allow you to handle a weapon and look at it. Okay,
yes, sir.
Right. Obviously, that's what you do in a retail store. Okay. There's your Beretta collection.
The Beretta collection, and not only the handguns, but also their new assault weapon systems, or the rifles.
Outstanding.
Which is nice. Sig Sauer.
Sig Sauer. All right.
And as you mentioned, every single one of these weapon systems are for sale. The key thing here is if we don't have it, it can be ordered. And as a rule, about 14 days it comes in.
Yeah, but you've got such a big collection. I mean, I don't know what you'd have to order because you must have a lot of them here because there they are in the display case. Yes. And I assume you have more in other places.
Yes.
Stores, right.
There's another store in Henderson, so if it's not here,
that's right,
and it's out there,
that's right.
They can transfer it over.
Right. Here's a Glock collection. That may be the largest one. One particular case here I see is just with Glock alone.
Correct.
And the one that you use in your series, is that a Glock?
It's a Smith M&P 9.
Oh, okay, Smith. Okay, right. M&P 9. Okay, right. And I don't even know if we have one out here.
Probably
pass it?
Probably back in the Smith & Wesson
okay.
section.
All right. Okay. Okay. Here's
Car Arms.
Car Arms. These again for you folks that don't have the opportunity of seeing these, you're going to see them on the screen any minute now, and it's the collection. It's the toy box here of guns. They're all here. And looks like Kimber, they've had a run on Kimber. It looks like you're a little light here.
Well, Kimber, the Kimber collection is light simply because Kimber only makes X amount of models.
It is a custom thing, right?
And on top of everything else, Kimber doesn't mass produce like a lot of other handgun companies out there. So while it's limited, this is probably the most amount of Kimber handguns.
Still may be the largest collection
in Nevada.
Okay, here we are at the Springfield Armory. Here's another big collection.
These folks, like you said, there's about 25 weapon systems per display case. So if you add them all up, it goes without saying.
Yeah. And next we've got Taurus, and we've got a few of the handguns and some of the other assault weapons, and then H&K on the end.
Soon to be expecting Colt to be on board.
Okay, good.
You know, this runs the list of weapons that you can buy on the market anywhere. They have it here.
Okay. All right, good.
And if they don't have it, it can be ordered.
It can be ordered.
Yes.
And right behind us, we have a little display. And before we move on to the other part of the store, I just thought since we're here, you might want to look at this. What? Now let's make one thing clear. These are not for sale.
No.
Okay. This is someone's collection, correct?
These are privately owned weapons by either folks in the store or Billy Stojak.
Oh, okay, or Billy, who we're going to see later, by the way. He'll tell us a lot more about these. So I don't want to spoil this for you, but we're going to see a lot of these up close and maybe even run a round or two through some of them. But let's look at the rest of the retail store. We're going down the other end. We'll meet you down there. Okay, all right, Mark, now here we are over in the clothing retail section, which is huge, by the way. But here's something that I bet most of us didn't know. I didn't know until Mark pointed it out to me. Tell me about these T-shirts.
These T-shirts were designed to raise money for fallen comrades. two Navy SEAL brothers got together, put a T-shirt together as a fundraiser for one of our fallen special operations guys. It took off to the point where they now have a full line of these shirts. A certain portion of every shirt that is purchased goes to a multiple of charities that help our wounded warriors, such as the Stars and Stripes Foundation.
Oh, including the Stars and Stripes. Oh, okay. So they're on, because I think they mentioned that there was something on each T-shirt about where that money is designated to.
Correct. They do have certain T-shirts that are made for specific families and or family members of fallen special operations folks, predominantly SEALs, and the proceeds from that go directly to that family.
Okay, that's outstanding, and I had never heard of that, and I don't know if you have either, folks. We'll try to get a close-up on this. Is one of the shirts. I'm not sure if we know which one is designated to, but it's a great-looking T-shirt. Okay, what else have we got? Where are we coming to? Under Armour is everywhere.
This store is the only Under Armour concept store on the West Coast.
The only Under Armour
concept store
on
the West Coast.
And what do you mean by concept store?
Before any other retailers get it.
Oh, okay. All right.
These folks have first bid on it.
Okay, so hey, if you want to be the first on your block with Under Armour, this is where to come.
As you can tell, the security shirts for the casinos.
Right. Let me grab one of those shirts. Here it is. Security shirts for the casinos. All right, here we are. We're in the back of the store now, or at least one wall of the store. I shouldn't say the back because I think that's where the ranges are. But we're here at Point Blank Bodyguard. This is some of the things that we saw. If you kept up with the series that we did on SWAT in Tulsa, this is some of the material that they were wearing. Tell us a little bit about what we've got back here, Mark.
What we have here is the body armor section, which covers all of the body armor that an individual would need as a law enforcement or physical security person working in that environment. You've got your standard response vests or plate carriers, which when this is opened up, you put your armored plates in it.
There we go.
You would put your armored plates in here, and this would go on over your standard duty wear.
This is external use.
External use, right. And that provides a level of protection with the plates up to large caliber handguns and or rifles.
Oh, okay. And or rifles.
So patrol carbine certified officers, if they get out and they have to respond, you always respond with your body armor to the level of the threat that you're going to encounter. Standard body armor that they wear on their patrol doesn't stop high-powered guns, in specific carbines and whatnot. So with the plate armor on it, that brings it to level 3A or above, and that makes them capable of responding to that.
I also see some here that look a little more military in camouflage, but in fact it does say SWAT on them, so they are still law enforcement, designed for law enforcement. Even over there with the Sheriff's Department, for instance, that again is in that green color. One would think that was military, but in fact it's not. We know from our own encounters that they wear both of those based upon whatever their situation is.
And then directly behind the camera here is the helmet capabilities that they have, which is level 3A Kevlar helmet systems.
Right. All right. I think a couple of you have seen me wearing that, so we know what those look like. And I'm not sure it's attractive for me.
Back here is the rest of the Black Hawk items that are in the store. Everything from pouches to gloves to pants to shirts, and the list goes on and on.
The owners of American Shooters, I have Michael Millett and Mick Catron. And they're going to tell us a little bit about the store because we've already been through it. And it's a great retail store. You've seen me shooting here. They have 21 public bays. It's air conditioned. And it's a minute and a half, maybe two from the strip. And there's nothing more convenient. Now, I've already asked this. Congratulations, by the way. I think you guys have a heck of a facility. And thank you for having me over. I've looked at the facility. You've got, what, some 10,000 square feet here, maybe?
Yeah, just right under 10,000 square feet.
Okay, and you've owned the business now for?
10 months. We purchased the business last October, did some pre-market due diligence through the summer prior, and here we are.
And here you are, right?
Kind of 3 years into our 5-year business plan.
All right, now tell me a little bit about your background, because I know that it's a military background, and you're like military retail business. I know that's a big learning curve for you. So give me a little bit of the background of what you guys have been doing.
Sure. I came from the Ranger Regiment, U.S. Army Ranger Regiment, back in 1993 through 98. Got out, went back to school. War happened, the War on Terror. Next thing I know, I was back in the Army, and did a number of things with government agencies after that. Mick and I met during that period, and kind of decided that we were going to follow each other around for a while.
Kind of teamed up.
Yep.
So same kind of background?
Similar background, yeah. Did the civilian thing for a while, and college. Wasn't quite content with what I was doing, didn't want to miss an opportunity, and so went in the military, went in the Army, had a special operations background, and like Mike said, we met up overseas and been together ever since at one capacity or another.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting opportunity that you were able to get together and stay together over a period of time in the service. I mean, most of us weren't able to do that. We'd meet somebody and then boom, it's all gone. So when you went in then, did you both go in about the same time?
Pretty close.
Yeah. Pretty close. What was going on then in those years?
For me, it was basically when you join the Army and go into the Ranger Regiment, you go through a series of schools and prior to getting assigned, and you go through what we call a Ranger Indoctrination Program, RIP, and it's 3 weeks of hell. They're testing to see if you have the intestinal fortitude to stay. And once you pass that, you get assigned to a Ranger Battalion. When I was assigned to my Ranger Battalion, which was 1st Ranger Battalion at Army Airfield Savannah, those guys had all left for Haiti.
Oh, okay, that's what I was looking for, some sort of a time period,
yeah,
so we could catch up.
They'd all left for Haiti, and so my first couple days in Ranger Battalion were drawing equipment. You're going to war, son, and it was quite scary. What I get myself into.
And you're at what age now?
I think I was probably 24.
24 years old. Okay. Been in school, been in college.
Yes, sir.
Boom. Decided I'm going to change my life. I'm going to devote I'm going to give back and become a Ranger and get involved with my country.
Yeah, my family has a strong military background.
Okay, they do. I was going to ask you that.
I'm very fortunate. I have the best parents in the world, and the reality is I knew I would always do it. It was just a matter of when. Time was right.
Okay. Mick, tell me. Same sort of thing?
So, graduated college and was working.
And you went to college where again?
At Rutgers University.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad university now.
No, it's a good school.
Huh? And you were studying?
Biology.
Biology, okay. And I forgot to ask, Michael, you went to school too? I know. Tell us again.
Norwich in Vermont, the Military College of Vermont, and South University in Savannah, Georgia.
And you were studying?
Business.
Business, okay. So you're both bringing some college knowledge, and we all know that that's important in a retail business, to the industry.
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't come in really cold.
Yes, but as much as that education is important, and I know that it is, I think our particular skill set and the tools we're using to run this business were learned through what we call real-world operations. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily the military, but the leadership aspects associated with the military, as well as contingency planning and just the valuable lessons of dealing with people in life.
All right, both of you guys are highly specialized with the military. Now, I know just because I've been in a few ranges myself that you're dealing with all sorts of people here. And some of them certainly don't come anywhere near the qualifications that you guys have. How are you dealing with that?
It's pretty easy, actually.
Is it?
We train our staff well. We ensure that they have all the proper tools to do their job, to ensure that the range is safe and secure, that they're providing great customer service, which allows them to get close to the customers and really see what they're about, anticipate any kind of problem there may be. We run drills frequently in the event that something does go wrong, there is an emergency. Our staff's trained, they know what to do, everybody has a job, and everybody knows when and where to do it. And we communicate, and that's a huge part of it, is that communication and contingency.
Okay, so the key here is the staff that you were able to assemble.
Absolutely.
And you assembled this staff from the previous owners, you went out and hired new folks. Give me a little on that.
A combination of both.
It was a combination of both. Now, the selection process, now folks, can you imagine applying for a job with these two fellas? Okay, so you come here and you say, oh yeah, I want to work at a range. Okay, who's your boss? Well, it's not like you go into your uncle. These guys know what they're doing. So, you know, that process of selecting them, that's always difficult.
There's probably more truth to that statement than I'm willing to admit.
Okay, all right, well, that's fine. That's good. I mean, we all know it. And that's the reason why I'm just putting it out there for you. But I know that was a difficult task. Now we're into the retail side. Now here's a learning curve for you.
Sure.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every day.
How many employees do you have?
Hovers right around 80, give or take.
80?
Yes.
Really? Okay, you got 10,000 square feet, you got 80 employees. Do you look for a military background, for instance? Is that a positive thing? Is that necessary?
You know, we try to support the veterans community.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that because I know you support the veterans community. But as far as employees go, that was part of your decision process. If someone had come in cold and said, hey, you know, I just graduated from high school, I'm 18 years old, I want to go to work here, what's your, you know?
Well, I don't have a problem with that. The reality is we look for the person and the character. And I think one thing that my military experience and working with government agencies in kind of a high-threat, high-stress environment done is you learn to read people. And the reality is it's great if they're veteran. We have over 50% veterans. But I don't want to say it's by mistake, but it certainly wasn't by design either. Reality is we want the best people for the job, you know, and there's a lot of good people out there, especially in this economy. There's a lot of overqualified people that are looking for work, and we're able to capitalize on that. And, you know, my philosophy has been since day one, and it's certainly been treat our employees well, treat our vendors well by paying our bills and doing what we're going to say, and those two things together take care of the customer.
Okay, you know? Good. Well, we touched on a subject that I really want to get to, and I know we could spend the rest of the day just talking about some of the experiences that you guys have shared, and I know that most of us will never share them, and maybe in the future we can do that. But I know you have a real interest in the Veterans Association. Now, there's several different things that you're involved in. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, there's American Heroes Challenge. We'll talk about American Heroes Challenge for a moment, and then Mick, if you'd want to speak to the Las Vegas Veterans Memorial.
Okay, let's break it up. That's good.
The funny story is my fiance met some of my buddies with a similar background to mine, and she's like, wow, look at all these good-looking men, you know, and who's better? You know, who's the best? So, you know, it turned into this idea of a competition, and what we've decided is to bring 20 tactical teams from around the country to Las Vegas, where they will compete in a 2-day competition. They're 4-person teams, male or female. The requirement is that they must be a first responder. We're defining first responder by whether the president calls 911 or you or I call 911. These are the ladies and gentlemen that go out and do the business so we don't have to.
Right.
20 tactical teams of a similar skill set. The only competition that we know of where Tier 1 special operations guys from the military get to compete against law enforcement from small towns across the USA and really honor their skill set, honor their pride, honor their dedication to their communities and their duty. And they get a bunch of people to come watch it, get a number of sponsors, and all that money being raised is going back into the veterans community.
Okay, that's what we wanted to get to. Now, where does that take place?
It's going to take place here in Las Vegas, November 6th and 7th, at Desert Sportsman, which is an outdoor range facility here, and at American Shooters.
Okay, that's going to be pretty exciting. What will that event comprise of?
There are a number of stages, everything from a combat search and rescue stage to a hostage type scenario. All of it will be live fire, so they're shooting their duty firearms, the equipment they wear on the job on a daily basis, duty ammunition, and I don't want to get too specific because we've got some curveballs.
Well, of course, we don't want to give away the secrets, but especially as we know they may be listening. So,
sure.
all right. Now, Mike, tell me.
Well, AHC ties into our other charity, the Las Vegas Veterans Memorial, in that it's a funding vehicle for that. So the idea was, you know, the city council approved us for constructing, designing, building, you know, the whole gamut on the Las Vegas Veterans Memorial here. So we put together a 5.
And there isn't, right? You don't have a memorial for veterans in Las Vegas, Clark County, okay? Certainly there isn't one in Clark County. Well, that's a shame.
So we designed American Heroes Challenge as a funding mechanism for that, and all the proceeds will go to that organization, that charity as well. Right now, we're working together with the Las Vegas Arts Commission, putting out requests with the city council on board, so it's in the infancy right now. We're doing the request for artists. That's an active that just went this week. So
is there going to be a designated function just for that?
Yes.
Okay, but that's not in the planning, or it is in the planning stages.
It's in,
but you haven't locked the date.
We haven't. Well, we've locked the date in. Right now we're soliciting for the artists right now just for that call. The end date on that will be the 29th of October. Once we get all those artists together and we have their resumes and their backgrounds, we'll scrub those out. We'll take a couple months to take a hard look at the people who've shown interest in that. From that, we'll select probably 4 to 5 finalists that we really think will show that have the right concepts and the capabilities to do a public work project of this magnitude. And then we'll bring them out personally, let them see the site, and start generating their ideas. Give them a couple months to do that, and then bring forth their design ideas for that, and from those finalists we'll select the winner for that and then move forward with it.
The really cool part about it is it'll be selected by committee. That committee will be comprised of veterans all over the Las Vegas Valley. Veterans from as far back as we could find them to getting out of the military that day, and the community members where the memorial will be placed. So really the idea behind it was very grassroots, and we want some ownership by the city. We want some ownership by the people we're trying to honor here and their families.
Okay, now is there a goal, dollar and cents goal that you need to achieve to do this, and what would that goal be?
Well, right now, without having a final plan in place, we're anticipating a cost of we're budgeting for a cost, I'll say, for around $800,000 for the project, and we're going to do as much as we can from donations and charity events to raise that. However, we've already committed ourselves to, whatever deficiency we find, whether it's the total amount or a portion of it thereof, we'll write the check for it.
Okay. Hey, it's Las Vegas, $800,000. Come on.
Yeah.
I saw him lose that on the table the other night.
Exactly. It's a tough economy to solicit donations, especially for for a park or something that doesn't provide a direct service to people. The reality is we're trying to bring awareness that this would provide a direct service, not only to the veterans, past, present, future, but also to their families. Because one of the big things for me, Mick and I have been deployed a long time with the military. It wasn't just tough on us. Actually, we were there working on a daily basis, and time flew by. It was tough on our families. There's wives and husbands at home writing checks, paying bills, picking the kids up. There are a number of kids that don't know their fathers these days, or know their mothers because mom and dad have been deployed so often. So for us, it's not just honoring the veterans, but part of that veteran is their family, and that's a big portion of this.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there that have been deployed a lot longer than we have.
Absolutely.
And it's a big sacrifice on both sides.
Okay, well, number one, I want to thank you for your service, both of you. I know that we can't thank you enough. In fact, we may never know exactly the services that you provided us, but I'm sure we're safe here in this country as a result of what you're doing. And all I can say is thank you very much. And also I'd like to add here that the facility is outstanding, folks. I mean, a minute and a half off the strip. If you don't have a gun, you can rent one. You got to come here to see this. And you have 2 stores.
We do. We have the store here at Spring Mountain in Arville, and we have a store on North Boulder Highway in Henderson.
Okay, then that would be how far is Henderson?
About 16 miles.
About 16 miles. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll have to get down here and visit that store.
Absolutely.
Okay, next time we're here, we're going to do that. We're going to spend some time with you again. I want to thank you for having us, and we look forward to the next trip.
Our pleasure.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Appreciate it.
I just can't say enough about Mike and Mick. I mean, you just the 2 nicest guys who I've ever run into on a range who were more than happy to sit down, and their history and their background is absolutely amazing. You got to go by you just have to go by when you're there in Vegas. Whether you bring your gun or not, you have to go by. And of course, Mark Christensen is always there. So introduce yourself, tell him that you're a listener for ATSN. He'll give you a grand tour. He'll show you around. If you run into Mike or Mick, I don't know what else to tell you, except that if you go to Las Vegas, you've got to go by this place. You just have to do it, okay? All right, enough said on that. Let's